Hello, folks. Welcome to the March 31st SIG Windows weekly meeting. This meeting will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So please adhere to CNCF code of conduct. Announcement. Anyone has anything to announce? If no, we can go to the new contributors welcome. So maybe afterwards you can give us a short introduction to yourself.
Sure. So I work with Containerity team. So my team is mostly responsible for maintaining Containerity on Windows, and I'm looking forward for some ideas on Containerity related logging infrastructure from this team. Maybe we can use some time towards end for discussing this.
Okay, yeah, we can add the agenda here. That's great, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's move to the agenda. The first one, maybe I just copied. The first one is I just copied from last week, or maybe the week before last week agenda. So maybe JR or Auron, can you give us some summary of the no log query feature in release 1.36?
Right. So for I'm right now, we're basically waiting for review on the docs PR. The due date is today, I think. So not sure who or what else we need to do in order to get reviews on that. I also ping in the thread the person that tagged me directly in Slack asking for the PR to get pushed and open, but we haven't get anything yet. So.
Okay, but
Is today the deadline for opening the MR or getting the MR merged?
Good question. Let me go back to a comment and double check, but I think it should be merged by today. I don't know. Let me check.
But you get everything from this team, right?
Correct. I think SIG Windows side, we are good.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we also need to ping that release guy, which is ask for the highlights from SIG Windows for release
All right.
1.36.
I went back to a message and it says that PR ready for review by March 31st. So ready for review probably means the state that the PR is right now. So yeah, no, probably no reason to run.
Yeah, but I just want to call out, Jan, like the SIG Windows highlights is completely different from this. For that, you have to go to the issue and you have to add a comment to the issue saying what you want to highlight. I sent you a DM about this, right?
Okay. I thought JR will work on that. Is that the case?
It usually is like me as SIG chair or like one of the SIG chairs needs to post.
Okay.
But to be clear, I will post what I posted again on the thread here. Let me find the thread. So I'll post a prior example of what like Mark did in the past.
Okay. In the chat?
I'll post it in the chat here. So this is what Mark sent, I think, a few releases ago.
Okay. Okay. I will take a look.
And so, like either you or Jose, you have to go, and there is this discussion that is happening on SIG release that I've posted. You have to go and add a comment there with the SIG Windows highlights. Very similar to what Mark did, but maybe the only thing you want to highlight this time might be node log query. I'm not sure what else is going on, but that's what you need to do explicitly.
Okay, but maybe JR is more appropriate for this because he has more contacts than me.
Like I said, this is not only about node log query. It has to do, if you want to highlight anything else, it has to be put inside this. And it's just a comment, Yonling. So somebody, it's not a lot of work. It's just comments. You just need to put, like, just look at what Mark did, right? It's just a bunch of comments. So if you want to highlight anything more than node log query, you need to like that. It needs to be done there, and multiple people can add comments. So it's So maybe you and JR can coordinate and post something.
Okay. Yeah, I will work with JR offline.
Right.
And I think, for this release, maybe we only have node log query, nothing else. Okay. The second one is just I pasted the 1.36 release cycle here, and just for your information. Actually, I do have a question regarding the for example, Kubernetes report open for checking in, open for PR. Is this only after G release? Arvin, do you have any info about this? So when can we work for the new features we want to add?
You can start the work, you just can't get anything merged, right?
Okay. Yeah. But when can we? I mean, send off a PR for review only after G release, or only after that can be merged, or before the G release? My question basically.
Wait, you want something merged before the GA release? Is that what you're
No,
asking?
for example, for the next release, 1.37 release is something we want to push into. Only after.
You can only
Yeah.
get it merged
go ahead.
after April 22nd, but you can open the PR and start working on it, getting reviews. All of that can happen, but you just won't be able to get it merged until after April 22nd.
Okay. Got you. Thank you. And we move to the next.
Sorry.
Yeah, the next item.
Yeah. You can talk about mine later because I went out of order and put mine before.
Okay.
I just couldn't get the formatting right, so I put mine at the end, and that's not urgent. We can even talk about it next week. Yeah, so go ahead and talk about the next one. I'm going to step away for 2 minutes, folks.
Okay. The next maybe approve. You
Sure.
want to talk?
Yeah, I can talk through this. Right. So recently, the containerd maintainers brought this to our attention that there are some containerd CI runs. There are workflows which are triggered every day, which test these Hyper-V isolated containers, and they were failing for a while. I think it's been like a year. And one of the reasons for it was that the the Azure VM subscription that was used, it was stale, and we had to renew the subscription. Beyond which, the test started running. Now there is second part to it, where after the tests have been run, the logs are copied over to a GCP account, and they are fed to this testgrid.ktest.io for display. Right now, um, The tests run fine after we have fixed the Azure VM subscription problem, but we are not able to push the logs to this GCP account. And it says that there is some issue with pushing the logs to the GCP account, and it specifically calls out the GCP account. We traced back that this account was created by Cloudbase, and the person who created it, we were able to find that PR, and then the maintainers helped us get to that. But where we are stuck right now is the old the person who created this GCP account no longer has access to it. And Me and Claudio and Mark Rossetti, we were discussing this on Slack as to how do we go about this next, right? So last time it was created through this cloud base. um, the person created this account, but if you want to create a new one, how do we go about it now?
Okay. Claudio, do you have any more information that be added?
Only what was already mentioned. Basically, the person who created the service account, left quite a while, so it's not really accessible anymore. I really think a new separate service account should be created, which will then be managed by the community instead. So stuff like this wouldn't happen. But basically, as far as I know, those should be updated afterwards. I think they are repository secrets, so those will have to be updated afterwards, but should be fine in that regard. If we can get in touch with someone who owns the repository to do so.
Okay. Which report are we talking about to update the secrets?
This is Containerd.
Okay.
Yep.
So why can't we just create a new Google service account or service? Because of the cost or something else?
Yeah. So I don't even know how do we go and create a new GCP service account. I think last time around it was offloaded to some company cloud base, and they did it. This was, I think, 3-4 years back. There is nobody who has reference to it, right? So I don't even know like what would be the requirements, and how do we go ahead and create it.
Does it make sense to pause in SIG testing or something like that people that are more familiar with the infrastructure?
Yeah, so basically what we need, right, is the for the tests themselves, the tests run on Windows VMs in Azure subscription. So that is fine. Um, the the tests after running, they push logs to, I think this would be something equivalent to a blob storage for Azure, where the logs would go to on GCP account. That's what we would need. And I think it should be similar for all services which display their results on test grid. I think that's what we would need even for Containerd.
Yeah, as far as I know, the SIG Windows release test bridge is a bit different with the Containerd related. But I mean, maybe Apple you can investigate on how to create a Google service account or something like that. And also, I think if it's not possible, or having difficulties, maybe we can investigate on move to Azure subscription, Azure service account, something like that. Do we have to rely dependent on Google GCP or Google service account? Maybe that's another option we can investigate more.
Yeah, I thought test grid scrapes from GCP account only. Yeah, that's what I remember investigating some time back, that there is hard requirement that the logs have to go to GCP account.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, for SIG Windows, some of the logs, we have a mechanism to retrieve the logs directly from Node, and yeah, maybe that's also need to go to Google GCP account. Okay.
I mean, it could be the same workflow as Apurv mentioned. Basically, it's only required for the test logs to be pushed to some sort of storage bucket. So that can be then accessed in test grid. We already do something similar for, every other job in test grid. So we kind of need to do the same for this job as well. I don't know who has service accounts for this, but
Okay.
Yeah,
I can take a look, but yeah, I don't know about the service account regime for. We just okay. Yeah, I can try to take a look, but yeah, we can maybe Mark is the one who can have more information, but yeah.
Okay. And then for other SIG Windows related logs which go to or which get shown through test grid, right? We would have a similar infrastructure already, right? Like, and maybe it is running fine, and that's why we are not paying attention, or maybe it's not running fine, but we are not paying attention to it at all, right? So, do we know how those GCP accounts were created last time around? Not the containerd ones, but the other SIG Windows ones.
Yeah, just like you said, it runs okay. We just pay attention to the logs information, not how it get into the GCP account or not. Yeah, but I can try to take a look.
Okay, sure. That would be very useful. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, let's move to the next, Claudio.
hello. Yeah, so this PCI pass-through to containers or pods. So this came as an interesting use case. Someone came up to me after last week's SIG Windows maintainer track that we had at KubeCon. So there are some users which are really interested in having this kind of capability. They want to attach disks as PCI devices, so PCI pass-through to them to do some interesting operations in that. Do you know if we have any kind of support for this kind of workflow? I know that in the past we used to have some support for this. We even had some tests which was doing PCI pass-through for GPUs, and we even had special container image related to that test. But I'm not sure whatever happened to this feature, or if it's still viable or usable, or if anyone tried it recently. They said that they tried it, but it doesn't work. But I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. I think I mean our team in Microsoft focus on the Windows container related. So maybe we have a GitHub repo called Windows containers. Maybe you can paste the detailed information in the create issue there, and it can bring attention for people which have much more expertise on this from our team. I will send you a link for the Windows container repo. And as far as I know, the GPU related work hasn't been, has been paused or stopped for some time. But yeah, but I'm not an expert on that side. Yeah, let's move on to the next. Maybe Nim should be the right person to.
Yeah, and for the other one, another user had another interesting use case. They were basically asking for a way to be able to collect the Windows event logs from containers through Kubernetes API in a more idiomatic way. Basically, they ran some services there which posts logs and events in the Windows event collector viewer, and they wanted a way to access those.
I don't know. I meant to read further, but those events are only in the container in the pod itself, or do they reflect also in the event manager in the host?
Or in the pod itself.
Or only in the registry in the pod.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
Only we could extend the no-log query to go further, and I don't know, just speaking out of my mind.
It was an interesting use case. I haven't thought about it before. I also thought about node-log query, but I don't think it has any sort of support for something like this. It would basically mean a new sort of endpoint to query inside the container itself, which I'm not sure there is any sort of workflow like this at this moment.
Yeah, Lynn.
Yeah, Claudio, can you clarify this? So these events are Windows event viewer logs, right? The system logs or application logs. These are not ETW events that you're talking about.
What kind of events?
Well, so these are if people go to start the event viewer and browse to either system logs or application logs, and they expect to see their logs there. So these type of logs, our team a couple years ago has investigated solution of getting the Windows event viewer logs from a container and obtain those from the host. I think there are some PowerShell scripts that can achieve that. I can dig that into, but I don't know PowerShell is a viable solution for the customer that you're referring to. Is it or is not?
So that's always an option to basically exec into the containers or pods and run something like get win event or whatever to get the events and the event logs.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be less idiomatic and from a Kubernetes API standpoint. Basically, they were asking for a way to get those logs directly through the Kubernetes API in a more direct fashion.
Hey, Claudio.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was discussed. I just got back. I've sent a link here. There is this Microsoft provided tool called Log Monitor.
Yeah,
right.
That is also maintained by our team.
So
cool.
that, from what I understand, like when I spoke to Microsoft previously, right, about getting logs from a Windows container, which typically, so containers pipe everything to STD out, and we had the same thing, like how do I get ETW and event logs? And I was said this is the way to do this, is to use Log Monitor in your application, which means it means that your entry points in your application and stuff like that has to change though to use this Log Monitor, because it has to be kind of baked in. But that was the recommendation I received, and I don't know, Lynn,
Yeah.
like whether that's the current recommendation, but that's what I got. Like, I don't know, this was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. This tool is still exists and still being maintained, and customers are definitely more than welcome to leverage it. At least give it a try and see if it works in their favor. It will be the simplest to get things set up, but it has to be incorporated into their container images and run inside the container.
That's interesting. Basically, you have to mutate the container images themselves to leverage this in the first place.
Correct.
Right. Correct.
There's no, untouching way of doing this, like without having to touch the container images.
Yeah, that's the other one that potentially they can run PowerShell scripts on the host, but that only works for process isolated container. I don't know the customer's container workflow nature, whether they're using Hyper-V isolated or process isolated. But for process isolated,
interesting. I wonder if this could also work as an alternative as a sidecar container, maybe.
I don't think anybody had tried. I don't know.
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, we can confirm inside the team.
Yeah,
it's
I
possible.
can bring back to the owner of the Log Monitor tool and spare some cycle to give it a shot. So, but at this moment, I don't know for sure whether a sidecar container just having the Log Monitor will work.
But yeah, I guess there's no direct Kubernetes way and idiomatic way to do this.
Okay. Yeah, we are already out of time, so maybe we move to to the last one or to next time. We are already past the time.
Yeah, no rush on that. You can please move this to the next meeting, and we can discuss it there. Yeah, thank you, folks.
Before we go, really quick, approve. I think we skip an item that I put it just below the containerd related test grid. This is an issue that I opened in containerd on how to enable dumping logs for a file. Take a look when you get a chance.
Okay. Sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, folks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.